My friends, I come here today to offer the homage of my heart to your great movement. I regard your movement as a great movement because it is dedicated to great ideals. The ideal of service, service of suffering humanity, and the ideal of promotion of peace among the peoples of the earth. And your service has brought sunshine, I know, into the dark, dreary lives of so many sick, afflicted, depressed, downtrodden, poor, broken ones. I pray that your movement may move on from strength to greater strength. I pray that your movement may move on from success to greater success in the service of suffering humanity and in the service of peace for which the tortured, the wounded soul of humanity continues to cry piteously till this day. Service is the watchword of your movement. For today, wherever I go, I find that the people are indifferent to the needs of those that are around them. They say it is none of our business. Surely it is your business. Humanity is one family. In this one family of humanity, every man is my brother, every woman is my sister. It is my duty, to the best of my ability, to the best of my capacity, to do what I can, to help as many as I can to lift the load on the rough road of life. From the youngest child to the oldest senior, every one of us can help. Every one of us can make a difference. There are so many things to be done. There are hungry to be fed. There are naked ones to be clothed. There are senior citizens to be taken care of. There are children to be taught. There is so much to be done. Every one of us can help. There are so many people who say, what can we do? We do not have the money. We do not have the energy. We do not have the time. Our resources are limited. What can we do? So many people come to me. They say to me, what can we do? We have no money. We have no resources with which to help. And I recall that 4-year-old child. Her name is Isis Johnson. This girl of 4 years old, she created a gigantic impression in her community when she was only 4 years old. One day she asked her grandmother, Grandma, can we send the food that has been left over to Ethiopia? And Grandma said, no, my child, Ethiopia is so very far. Before the food reaches there, it will grow too stale for human consumption. But Isis was not the one to give up. This 4-year-old child asked the grandmother, she says, Grandma, are there no hungry children in our own town? And Grandma had to make the confession that there are many starving, many hungry children in our own town. Then Grandma says, Isis, why can't we send the leftover food to the hungry children in our own town? That is how it began. And this child of 4 kept on moving from door to door, asking her neighbors if they would donate food for hungry children in the town. From this came that great foundation which is named after her, the Isis Johnson Foundation, which supplies so many things, thousands of items, including food, clothing, necessities of life, to thousands of people all over the United States. She says again and again, it does not matter who you are. It does not matter from where you come. It does not matter whether you are rich or poor. It does not matter whether you are young or old. You can help. You can make a difference. All that is needed is to care. It is this caring spirit that is lacking in our society today. It is this caring spirit which urges every one of us to do the best we can to serve others. My friends, what is the way of service? What is the right way to serve? What are the rules of service? If I have the time, I would wish to pass on to you today 5 rules of service. I often call them the Panchashila of service. I sometimes refer to them as the 5 fingers of service. Even as a hand has 5 fingers, even so the hand that serves has 5 fingers. And remember, the hand that serves is holier than the hand that merely turns the beads of the rosary. What are these 5 fingers of service? What is the Panchashila of service? The very first finger of service is serve silently. Serve silently. Do not serve by cries and clamor. In India for a long time, we have confounded work with noise. We do a little work, we create so much noise. Serve silently. That is the very first finger of service. Serve silently. We do a little service. There's so much of show and ostentation in our service. We do a little service, then after spending an anxious, sleepless night, we wake up in the morning and scan the newspaper if our little service has been noticed. This is not service. This is not service. This is the very death of service. I look forward to the day when we shall have in India bands of young men and women who, spewing away all that is false and fleeting, bands of young men and women who, renouncing all low ambitions, will dedicate themselves to the silent service of India's teeming multitudes. I sometimes shed tears as I think of the shadows that we run after. Name, fame, prominence, publicity, earthly greatness, popularity. These are all shadows. India needs the Shakti. India needs the strength of people who serve silently. There was a man, he wanted to distribute milk powder among the slum dwellers. He brought a number of cans of milk powder, and the slum dwellers came and sat in a row. The cans were opened, but 15 minutes passed, half an hour passed, 3/4 of an hour passed. The milk powder was not being distributed. The slum dwellers became restive. They became restless. They said, why is the milk powder not being given to us? Why? The reason was the photographer had not arrived. This man wanted to be photographed in the act of distributing milk powder. This, as I said, is not service. This is the death of service. I sometimes shed tears when I think of the shadows that we run after. I remember one day we were sitting in a garden at the lotus feet of our beloved master, Sadhu Vaswani, and he pointed to the flowers that grew in the garden. He said, look at these flowers, how they bloom in beauty, how they spread fragrance all around, but they do it all silently. Go and serve silently. Then pointing to the sun, he said, see how the sun shines silently. As the sun shines, it sends forth light and warmth. Millions upon millions, billions upon billions, trillions upon trillions, quadrillions upon quadrillions. Pentallions upon pentallions, countless number of creatures owe their very life to the existence of the sun. But the sun does it all silently. Do thou go and serve silently. This is the very first finger of service. This is the very first rule of service. If I want to serve in the right way, I must serve silently. And what is the second finger? The second finger of service? The second finger of service is serve humbly. The first finger is serve silently. The second is serve humbly. Serve humbly. Serve in a spirit of humility. Do not think that you are doing meherbani to those whom you seek to serve. Rather, it should be the other way around. We have received so many favors from the surrounding universe. We have received so many blessings from God. We carry a debt on our shoulders. This debt must be paid back by serving those that are less fortunate than we are, by serving the aged and the infirm, by serving the handicapped and the halt, by serving the forsaken and the forlorn, by serving the unwanted and the unloved, by serving the hopeless and the homeless ones. If they permit us to serve them, they are only helping us to pay off the debt that we carry on our shoulders. Therefore, we must express meherbani to those who permit us to serve them. That is the real spirit of service. Serve humbly. Serve humbly. And if you will serve humbly, you will expect no reward for your service. As the Master Sri Krishna unfolds his doctrine of Karma Yoga in the Bhagavad Gita, he lays the emphasis on this one thing. Arjuna, you must serve in such a way that you expect no reward for your service. Not even a word of thanks. Not even a simple word of thanks. You must serve without expecting anything in return. A man came to Sadhu Vaswani and said to him, for many long years I have served the people, and now I want them to elect me to the Lok Sabha. Sadhu Vaswani said to him, my brother, the reward of service is more service. This is the only reward that you can expect. The reward of service is more service. And when you serve humbly, then one good thing that you do is you serve with your own hands. Manual work is essential to service. Giving a handsome donation is the least part of service. Paying money is the least part of service. You must go and serve with your own hands. Many of you, I believe, must have heard the name of that great one, Albert Schweitzer, Dr. Albert Schweitzer. At one time, he was regarded as the greatest living man of the 20th century. He was 32 years old when one evening, as he sat in his house, the thought occurred to him, all this that you have done so far, you have done for yourself. Everything that you are doing, you are only doing to win the applause of the crowd, the acclaim of the people. What have you done for God? What have you done for suffering humanity? And he resolves. He says, the remaining years of life will be spent in the service of suffering humanity. They will be spent in the service of God. And all alone he sets out for Lamborghini, the backwoods of Africa. He goes there and serves the black people. They don't understand. They have never known somebody who will just come and serve you for nothing. They don't understand his ways. So much so that one day that he performed an operation, hernia operation, and that man who was operated upon came to him and told him, pay me for the flesh that you have taken out of my body. Yes. In his spare time, Dr. Albert Schweitzer used to go to the forest to fell down trees to get logs of wood for a hospital which he wanted to build for the Negroes, for the black people. One day, as he was carrying all those logs of wood on his shoulders, he found that the burden was too heavy for him. He saw a black man passing, and he said to him, "Brother, will you not give me a helping hand? I find that the load that I am carrying today is too heavy for me." And that Negro just stood up and said, "Hey, mister, don't you know that I am educated?" And Dr. Schweitzer said, "I am happy I am not educated." There was the man who knew how to serve humbly. Manual work is essential to service. This is the second finger. I could tell you many things, but my time is traveling fast. This is the second finger of true service. The first is serve silently. The second is serve humbly. And the third is serve lovingly. Serve with love in your heart. I've heard many of my wealthy friends speak very roughly, very rudely to the poor whom they seek to serve. I've heard some of them say, "Don't show me your ugly face again. Why have you come to bother me again?" That is not the way to serve. Serve with love in your heart. The poor are not apart from you. The poor and you are a part of the one great whole. The sense of identification with the poor is very, very necessary before I can go out and serve the people in the right way. Sense of identification. I and those whom I seek to serve are not apart from each other. We are parts of the great whole. They are a part of me, I am a part of them. In this spirit, if we go and serve the poor, we will be blessed. Our acts of service will be blessed, and those whom we serve will be blessed. There was an English woman. She went to Africa to serve the black people there. And on the very first day of her arrival, she took a basket containing toys, containing sweets, containing dresses, containing picture books, containing many other things, articles which she wanted to distribute among the children of the black people. The children felt tempted when they saw all those things. They felt tempted. But when she drew near to them, they ran away from her. So she questioned herself, what is the reason that they don't come near to me? She said, perhaps it is the color of the skin. I am white, they are black. It's on this account that they do not draw nigh unto me. You know what she did? The next day she painted her face black. No woman would do it. No woman would do it. Is there anyone present here who would do it for the sake of service? She painted her face black, and the next day she came and the children came running to her, "Granny, Granny, give me this, give me that, give me." This is the way to serve. Sense of identification with those whom we seek to serve. And as you serve lovingly, you will find that gradually your sphere of service will grow wider and wider. Perhaps you will begin by serving members of your community. Gradually, you will serve the people of your town. Gradually, your circle will grow wider and you will begin to serve members of the one family of humanity. But you will not stop there. You will go a step further. You will begin to realize, as you move on the path of service, you will begin to realize that all creation is one family. And in this one family of creation, birds and animals are man's younger brothers and sisters. And it is the duty of man to give the love of his heart to his younger brothers and sisters. It is the responsibility of man to save his younger brothers and sisters from the cruel knife of the butcher. Sadhu Vaswani said on more than one occasion, with tear-touched eyes, he said, "Oh, the sin of daily slaughter in our cities." And he added words with which not many of you may agree today, but he spoke with the foresight of a seer when he said, "Believe me, the day is coming when meat eating will be condemned as murder." It is downright murder. It is cold-blooded murder. And this is what happens to you when you come to the third finger. Serve lovingly. The first finger is serve silently. The second is serve humbly. The third is serve lovingly. The fourth finger, I just rushed through it because my time is drawing to a close. I was given 40 minutes. I have eaten up already 31 minutes. The fourth finger of service, the fourth finger is, you must not seek to impose your faith or your religion or your creed or your way of thinking or your way of life over those whom you seek to serve. You cannot reform the world until first you have reformed yourself. When you have reformed yourself, your example will work wonders on those that are around you. That is how the world will be reformed. You cannot go out and reform the world. It was Swami Ramatirtha who had this advertisement inserted in the Tribune, which in those days was the most popular newspaper in northern India. The Tribune, some of you must be remembering it. The advertisement read, it was you had in block black letters, wanted reformers. In big black letters, wanted reformers. Then underneath were written in small type the words, who are ready to reform themselves. He got no answer to the advertisement. Everyone wants to reform another. Everyone wants to reform the world. Nobody is prepared to reform himself. And the fifth finger is cultivate the soul. Essentially, every one of us is a soul. Before we can serve in the right way, we must cultivate the soul. Cultivate the soul, therefore, realize that you are only an instrument. You are only a tool in the hands of that great cosmic power, which for want of a better word we call God. God is the one worker. He is doing everything. We are only tools. We are only instruments. Cultivate the soul, therefore realize that you are a pilgrim on earth. Your stay on this earth is for a brief while. Your pilgrimages to the eternal, where is your home? Cultivate the soul, therefore realize all that you are and all that you have is alone given to you to be passed on to those whose need is greater than yours. Cultivate the soul, therefore have faith in yourself. Have faith in the universe around you, which is essentially good and just. Have faith in God. This triple faith will unite all mankind and usher in a new era of peace for which the nations are waiting. Cultivate the soul, therefore let every day of your life on earth be a day of search for the better, for that spiritual perfection which removes the mountains, fills up the seas, builds up bridges over rivers so that man can meet his fellow men not with a bomb or a bullet, but with a warm, loving heart. My friends, I went to a shop several years ago. In this shop was a vending machine. The vending machine was out of order. And on the vending machine they had written the words, this machine taketh, it giveth not. This machine taketh, it giveth not. That is, if you put a slot in the, if you put a coin in the slot of the machine, nothing will come out of it. This machine taketh, it giveth not. Are we not like so many of us? Are we not like this machine? We keep on taking and taking and taking. We give nothing in return. We eat 3 full meals every day. Do we think of the millions upon millions of our countrymen who have to sleep at night on empty stomachs? Our wardrobes are full to overflowing. Do we think of so many who have to sleep on the roadside in the bitter cold of winter with nothing above them, nothing over them? One night, I remember, with a few of my friends, I went out to survey the situation. As we moved on from street to street, we found a man lying on the bare earth. I called out to him, "Baba, Baba." There was no answer. I called out again, "Baba, Baba." There was no answer again. I felt his pulse. The heart was not beating. I felt his respiration. He was not breathing. Apparently, finding the cold too bitter, he had passed out of the body. He must have gone and impeached every one of us at the bar of eternal justice. He must have impeached every one of us, we who sleep in our cozy beds night after night. My eyes were touched with tears. And out of my heart there issued a cry, "Oh Lord, when will they come? The saviors and the servants of the poor. When will the poor come to their own?" I looked up at the heavens. The sky was dumb. The stars were mute. The wind was still. And in the midst of it all, there was the sleepless cry of my heart, "Oh Lord, when will the poor come to their own? When will they come, the saviors and the servers of the poor and broken ones?" I will not keep you longer, my friends. My time is over. Today, the nations are moving in a jungle of darkness. Today, wherever you turn, there is the passion for power. There is the lust for fame. There is the greed of gold. Today, humanity seems to be standing in unseen ruins. Today, humanity seems to have suffered a nervous breakdown. Today, Mother Humanity is shedding tears while our children are busy preparing instruments of death and destruction. Today, humanity is as an orphan in the night, crying for the light. Today, more than ever before, we need men, we need women, we need simple men, we need true men, we need humble men who will go and serve the poor silently, who will serve them with love and humility in their hearts, offering all their service at the lotus feet of the Lord. They will be among the saviors of humanity. They will be among the builders of a new world order, a new humanity, a new civilization. I thank you.